welcome to the podcast, The Millionaire of the Diamonds. I'm so excited with today's segment that when we met for the mastermind with Jean-Philippe and Sylvain, this is what happened. Marie-Pierre, let them know what happened.
Okay, so last night we read and we decided we need to devise this one part for Thursday and one part for Friday. But this morning, Maria was so into the podcast that she decided that she explained everything for today and everything for tomorrow. She was really into it.
It is so good. And with the emotions, did you see when I talked about the Christmas Carol? I get all emotional, getting all emotional. Like, it's really a good podcast. And most importantly, it made me have a huge aha moment of why, Melanie, I'm so purpose driven because I have a life of integrity.
Yeah.
But you understand what I'm saying? It's like you can't have a purpose driven life if there's a lack of integrity somewhere. So I'm just hoping you're driving in. I really believe you need to share this podcast with everybody you know that kind of cheats a little bit, that cheats a little bit on their income taxes, that cheats a little bit. Maybe it's not called cheating. I don't know how I would put it, Melanie. That, this is good enough.
A bit deceitful sometimes.
Yeah. These are you know what? 99% of the people.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, we have to understand if they thought it was deceitful, they wouldn't be doing it.
No.
That is the worst thing, right? So they don't even know it. But that explains why. Oh, you're going to love it. Okay, stop, Maria, stop. Let me dive in. Okay, so the millionaire, I know, Marie-Pierre, I was going to do the whole darn podcast. The Millionaire of the Diamonds is huge. It's huge. It brings clarity. It brings it brings us to who we have to become to reach our next level. And today, the clarity, the alignment, the future self becomes real. Like I'm telling you, you must share this podcast. Contribution and consciousness are the two keystones. Yes. Of peace. Today, we're going to cover just contribution. Maria, stick to just contribution. Here's what you can expect today. I will open up with the heart of contribution, with my own stories, why it matters, etc., etc. But wait until Melanie Miller comes in. Thank God you won't see me because for sure I'm going to be crying. She's going to go behind the story of A Christmas Carol. It's playing in Disney Channel. I really encourage you to watch it. It is a classical, dates back, Melanie, in the 18th century. You were sharing with us yesterday.
Yeah, 19th century, the 1800s, I think.
Yeah, so I'm telling you guys, amazing. And then I'm looking forward to the end, Marie-Pierre, because that inner compass. And just remember, do not answer. Okay, you can write whatever you want on the comments and get them to write on the comments, right? Because we want the comments to rock and roll. It helps with the algorithms. But deeply inside, observe yourselves as the days go by and really ask yourself the question, who am I? Because if you want to live a life of meaning, where you jump out of the bed early in the morning, you go to bed late at night, and you're never tired and always excited and happy, today is the podcast for you. Okay, so let's go over to you, Marie-Pierre, for the conference. Yeah, okay, go.
It's time to share. So first thing is time to share. So you have the text in the comment that you can copy paste it when you click on the arrow and you decide to share on every social media platform. So people understand why they should listen to the podcast. They have the text, the question to make sure that they will click on the link. And for all those people that you really think about them, that you say, okay, this person really needs it, you can send it directly by messenger or text message, or you can tag
Hang on, Melanie. Hey. Okay, keep going. Focus.
Focus. Okay,
I'm trying to share.
Messenger and text message, best way to make sure that the person that you think about them, they will listen to it. And then we have our contest, Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So first, when you go on our Facebook group called Les Millionnaires des Diamants Inspirational Group, every time that you post, every time that you leave a comment or a reaction, you gain points during the month to be in the top 10 contributor of the group. And at the end of the month, the official top 10 will get a voucher to go shop on the boutique Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So you still have a few days before the end of the month to be in the top 10 and the top 10 month to date. Now Sylvain is back in the top 10. That means that she he didn't accept to be an admin. Sylvain! So number 10, Sylvain Lalonde. Number 9, Nathalie Brochu. Number 8, we have the page Des Images et des Mots. Number 7, Rachel Dugas. Number 6 is Sherry Novak. Number 5, Mélanie Cocolas. Number 4, Lise Boucher. Number 3, Kendra Spingasol. Number 2, Louise Gauthier. And number 1, Marc Lanoël. So congratulations to our top 10 month date. Again, you still have a few days to be in the top 10 so we can announce the official top 10 next week. And then you will have we have a draw at the end of the month. So to be in the draw, it can be with the boutique or with the books, Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So when you go on the boutique, Les Millionnaires des Diamants, you place your order, you take a picture, you receive your order, you take a picture, and then you post it on social media and you tag Marie Moreno and Les Millionnaires des Diamants to be in the draw. And then same thing with the books, Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So every time that you read one of the book, you take a picture. You receive one of the book, you take a picture. You're doing one of the quiz book, you take a picture. You're doing one of the workbook, you take a picture. You're using your agenda, you take a picture. And every time you post and you tag Marie Moreno and Les Millionnaires des Diamants to be in the draw at the end of the month. And if you haven't registered yet for the next conference that's gonna happen on January 24th, I will put the link in the comment. It will appear in a few seconds. Make sure that you click on the link and you register to be with us virtual or in person, because Maria decided we have place in the studio to have people with us. So make sure that you register first, then send me a message if you want to be in person so I can add you to this special group that will be with us at the studio. Voila.
Okay, but look at this. I'm yellow.
It's your new camera. So I will play with the color after.
Yeah, I'm yellow. Both
Okay.
of you are so pinkish, and me, I'm like yellow.
You're olive.
I'm olive. Okay, let's dive in. Good morning, Matthew. Thank you. And I love what you guys are doing. Good morning, Maria. Good morning, Melanie. Good morning, Marie-Pierre. That adds to our list here. I don't see, okay, I do not see Monique. I see James. Thank you, James, for tagging Monique, Kendra. Can somebody tag Sherry? I don't see Sherry either. Somebody's watching you. It's called Maria. All right, so let me dive in. Okay, so welcome back to the podcast, The Millionaire of the Diamonds. I'm Maria Mariano, and it's been a personal dream of mine for years and years and years to personally develop myself every single day. But like anything, we need to be accountable for it to happen and to stick to it. So thank you to Jean-Philippe, Sylvain, Marie-Pierre, Melanie Miller, and all of you guys, okay? This obliges us to show up even when we don't feel like it, okay? And today we're diving into something that sits right at the center of my life, of my happiness and my purpose. It's called contribution. And Marie-Pierre, I'm going to stick to today's podcast, not tomorrow's, because it's so wonderful, but we had to split up in two. So for me, contribution isn't something I do. It's something that I am. It's the meaning of waking up in the morning. That's what makes me jump out of bed early in the morning, go to bed late at night. And even if I'm tired, I just keep going. Contribution. It's the energy behind everything I do, whether I'm cooking with my nieces, whether I'm cleaning, whether I'm gardening, whether I'm with my pet. Contribution. Life feels absolutely empty. Life has no direction, and life has no sound, no color, and no heartbeat. As Stephen Covey says, it's so beautifully said in the text that we studied last night with Melanie and Marie-Pierre. Contribution gives meaning to and energizes the rest. So if you're going to lean in and write down one sentence, contribution gives meaning to and energizes the rest. I absolutely love this podcast. It doesn't matter how successful we become. If we're not contributing, something deep inside of us stays hungry. And Melanie Miller could talk ages on that, because if she's still with me today, even if she doesn't need to work, it's because she's like me. She doesn't want to stay hungry. We want to contribute. And she always keeps asking me, so when can I retire? Not yet. We still have this to do. When can I retire? Not yet. If we're not contributing, something deep inside of us stays hungry. Write that down. Write that down. If we're not contributing, something deep within us stays hungry. There's something missing. And I have felt that so deeply in multiple seasons in my life. There were moments where financially I didn't need to work, figuratively speaking, moments where I could have stepped back and traveled as I could today. But there's a truth here that I want to share with you that nobody talks to us about enough. A little bit like Ella yesterday when she shared with me, and I said, we got to put in a story. There's a truth we don't speak enough about: hard work. We don't speak about that motivation and inspiration only lasts about a minute. The rest requires discipline. But here's the other truth we don't talk enough about. When you stop contributing, something inside you starts dying. So what are you giving back to the world in your own way? So I've lived this. If I'm not contributing, I don't feel alive, period. Period. That's what it is, Melanie. That's what it is. I don't feel useful. I don't feel connected because contribution is who I am. When people say stop cooking for, no, 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 no. It's who I am. It's my legacy. It's my identity. It's my oxygen, and it makes me stay passionate, energized, do everything with excellence. This is it, okay? And contribution isn't always grand. Like honestly, it isn't always grand. So if I'm doing my garden, it's not grand, but it's contribution. It's not just building a multi-million-dollar organization or hosting conferences. Sometimes it's the small little things. Like yesterday, I was looking at two of the private conversations I've had that will not go on social media. That's between me and the individual. A moment of encouragement, showing up for my family member, helping someone see to see themselves differently. Like, how can I help somebody to show them what they can actually do? Opening a door of opportunity. This is why I love the recruiting part of my business. Planting a seed in someone's life. Anything that lifts the world by even 1 inch, that is contribution. What struck me the most in Covey's writing is how he explains that contribution is not just about giving, it's about peace. And I so get it. So as we read it yesterday, I got emotional, right? And this is where you're going to get the noise that's removed. This is where it's going to clear your mind. It's going to anchor you. And you're going to stop asking, what am I getting? What am I getting? What am I getting? Give me, never gets. Oh, okay. And you start asking, what am I becoming? What am I building? What am I? Like, honestly, what am I? Leaving behind legacy, meaning, and something that's everybody will remember us by. And I remember my mother always saying, you get to live eternally if people keep talking about you once you left this world. So I want to ask you this question. When was the last time you felt fully alive because you were contributing to someone else's growth? I'm going to leave you in the hands of Melanie Miller to go a little bit deeper here. And I got my Kleenex, Melanie. Over to you.
I don't think you'll need it. So it's interesting, Maria, that you would how you explained the beginning, and it reminded me when I first moved to North America. One of the things somebody asked me, and it probably was just the circles I was moving in, was what do you find the most different about living in North America to Australia or England? And I straight away I said, in North America, there's such an attitude of what's in it for me. And I found it quite shocking. Now I've learned to be accustomed to it. But that was the thing I said. So I'm going to read you a little bit straight from the book. Covey was involved in something with PBS, which is a public broadcasting system, and was talking about a video dramatization of a film that was made in England. The central figure in this remarkable story is an Englishman who transcended a childhood spent as a street urchin to become a reasonably successful writer with a nice home and a loving family. At the time of the story, however, he had reached a point where he was experiencing writer's block. For some time, he had been unable to feel inspired in his writing. It seemed his creativity had turned off. His debts were mounting. He was under tremendous pressure from his publisher. He was becoming more and more depressed, with the growing fear that his own children would end up on the streets like so many he saw around, like he himself had been as a youth. He was discouraged. He couldn't sleep. He began to spend his nights walking the streets of London. He saw the poverty, the inhumane condition of children working at nights in the factories, the terrible struggle of parents trying to eke out a living for their families. Gradually, the full reality of what he was seeing began to hit him. The impact of selfishness and greed and those who would take advantage of others. An idea touched his heart and began to grow in his mind. There was something he could do to make a difference. He returned to his writing with an energy and enthusiasm he had never known. The vision of contribution, compassion impassioned him, consumed him. He no longer felt doubt or discouragement. He didn't worry about his own financial concerns. He wanted to get this story out, to make it as inexpensive as possible, to make it available to as many people as possible. His whole life had changed. And of course, the person that Covey is talking about is Charles Dickens and his wonderful novel, The Christmas Carol. Most people know it as a Christmas story, but it's actually a story about contribution, conscience, and legacy. Let me give you a quick summary. You've all heard of Ebenezer Scrooge, the cold, hard, lonely man, someone who has everything financially, but nothing emotionally, and absolutely no sense of contribution. He moves through life untouched by the needs of others. He doesn't care, he doesn't give, he doesn't connect. And he justifies it by saying he's being efficient or realistic or practical. But really, he's living in the shallowest level of life, what I call the cotton candy level. Cotton candy success looks big, looks impressive, but has no substance, no nourishment, no meaning. It dissolves the moment you touch it. That is Scrooge before the transformation. And then the story shifts. He's confronted by three spirits, past, present, and future. And he sees what Covey is talking about here. When you live selfishly, your world becomes small. When you hoard your time, your energy, your talents, you shrink your soul. When your only goal is to survive or to accumulate, you slowly disconnect from the very things that give life its richness. And what struck Scrooge the most in the future scene wasn't fear, it was emptiness. No one cared, no one showed up for his funeral because he had never contributed anything that made people care. That moment is the purest illustration of Covey's teaching. Contribution is not optional if you want a meaningful life. It's not something nice people do. It's not charity. It's not extra. It is the essence of why we are here. And here's the miracle. The moment Scrooge changes the way he lives, the moment he shifts to giving, serving, caring, his entire world bursts open. He becomes lighter, happier, more alive. He discovers what Covey says so beautifully. The happiest moments in life are almost always connected to the giving of ourselves. Not giving money, giving ourselves, our presence, our attention, our kindness, our talents. That is what builds legacy. Why this matters to us now? We're part of an organization, Les Diamants, that exists because of contribution. Maria didn't build this on cotton candy success. She built it on service, on helping women find confidence, on giving people a place to belong, on lifting people up and celebrating their progress. And that is why Les Diamants has touched thousands of lives, because contribution multiplies. When you help someone, you expand their world. And when they in turn help someone else, your influence grows in ways you can't even imagine. That is why Covey says legacy isn't about wealth or titles. Legacy is about who you become in the process of serving others. So here are three quick reminders as we start this as we talk about contribution. Your life expands in proportion to how much you give. Every time you contribute, share encouragement, support a new recruit, help someone solve a problem, you're widening the circle of your influence. Number two, contribution heals your own life. Just like Scrooge, your past pains don't disappear through avoidance. They dissolve through service, gratitude, and connection. And number three, contribution is the path to legacy. Not the legacy of plaques and awards, but the legacy of people whose lives were better because you were in them. And if you think back on your own happiest memories, I guarantee they were connected to giving, loving, or serving. So I want to leave you with this thought. You don't have to wait until the future to see your legacy. Legacy is created in moments. The encouragement you give someone who needed it, the time you take to listen, the spark of belief you ignite in someone's heart, the extra gesture that says, you matter. This is the real meaning of contribution. This is what transforms a life. And this is what will ultimately define ours. And now I'm going to leave you in the hands of the quiz master. We're very happy you're back, Mary Pierre. and she is going to help us understand a little bit more about what contribution means to us. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Melanie. So, yes, we'll end that with the quiz of the day to see how we contribute in real life, because contribution is not something that it's theory. It's really how you show up moment to moment. So, the quiz will help you to see what is your current style of contribution and what is your next step to contribute with more intention, alignment, and joy. So, for each question, you can answer A, B, or C this morning. So, let's start with question number one. So you have a friend that seems off, even if she doesn't say anything. So what do? A, you send a quick, are you okay? B, you wait for her to come to you. Or C, you call or voice note her to check in. Question number two. Someone on your team shares a win. What do? A, you like the message. B, you say nothing. Or C, you celebrate them publicly. Question number three. You have an idea that could help the whole team. So what do? A, you share when asked. B, you keep it to yourself. Or C, you offer it proactively. Question number four. You pass someone who looks overwhelmed at an event. So what do? A, you smile. B, you walk past. Or C, you offer support or ask, need a hand? And question number five. You have a newbie that asks a question that was answered 20 times in the group chat. What do? A, you explain again with patience. B, you say scroll up. Or C, you send them the right info with kindness. So did you get mostly A's, mostly B's, or mostly C's? So if you have mostly A, you are the situational contributor. So you contribute when you think of it or when it's obvious, but you often hesitate, overthink, or stay in your comfort zone. So your next level will be to step in faster, contribute even when it's inconvenient, and add value without waiting for permission. Now, if you have a mostly B, you are the passive observer. So you care, but you stay on the sideline. You hesitate, you wait, you avoid the discomfort. So contribution will grow when you decided to speak up, to step forward, to offer help, and share your gifts. So start small. One action today can awaken that contribution identity. And if you have mostly C's, and now you are the contributor leader. So contribution is part of who you are. So you lift people naturally. You take initiative. You don't wait to be asked. So you create the trust, growth, safety, and momentum with that. So you are the type of person who change the room simply by entering it. So 5 simple ways that we can contribute even when you are busy. So number 1, send one message of encouragement to someone who needs it. A simple I believe in you can change their whole day. Number 2, share a skill that you have. Even if it's for 3 minutes, is it a recipe that you have? Is it a tip, a hack, a shortcut? So share a skill that you have. Number 3, leave a voice note instead of just a text because your voice carries warmth that words alone cannot. Number 4, celebrate someone publicly. So highlight a win, big or small, doesn't matter, but celebrate someone publicly. And number 5, give a genuine compliment to a stranger. It costs nothing, but it creates light. So it's simple ways that you can make sure that you develop that identity, that habit to contribute to everyone around you. So on that, I wish you a beautiful day, and we will see you tomorrow morning for the next part. Not yet. It's tomorrow, the conscious. It's not this morning. It's tomorrow. So bye, everyone.